Hey, I'm Storyman Mark, and it is story time. So you can see him at Emily Oaks Nature Center at 4650 Brummel Street in Skokie. It is Asian Pacific Month, so we're celebrating those cultures. So today I'm going to tell a story from China. And I should point out, also, just so you know, snow removal procedures are still in effect here at Emily Oaks Nature Center. I love the mountains. Here is the classroom building. I love the rolling hills. And here you can see the trail map. Yes, right around here there's an inner circuit and an outer circuit, and the outer circuit takes you around the 2-acre pond. I love the sunshine.
It's time now for joke time on Storytime. Go ahead, make me laugh.
Knock, knock. Who's there? China. China who? China feels like the good old days, doesn't it? Did you hear about the party at the Chinese zoo? Pandemonium. What is purple and really long? The Great Wall of China. What do you call a Chinese man with a camera? Filming.
That is all the time we have for joke time on Storytime.
Hey, I'm Storyman Mark, and I'm at the Emily Oaks Nature Center in Skokie, Illinois. And you can hear the geese and the red-winged blackbird. And it's Asian Pacific Month here in the United States, celebrating Asian and Pacific cultures. So I thought I would tell a story today from China. And this is called Sweet Jamai. And at some point, you're going to need to do some thinking for yourself and see if you can come up with some answers. Of course, I'll tell you what the answers are, because that's part of the story. Now, this story comes from China and is several thousand years old, probably. It's been handed on from generation to generation. It goes back to the Ming Dynasty, at least that's where this story takes place. Once upon a time, there was an emperor who really loved to see his own face. He loved to see his own face so much that he had his entire palace mirrored and polished so that he could see his reflection no matter where he looked. And in order to do that, he sent his guards out. He sent his guards out where they would collect all of the nearby farmers, take them off of their land, and drag them back to the palace. And then they would give them cloths and cleaning supplies, and they'd get down and start to shine the walls and the floors and just every surface so that the emperor could see himself wherever he looked. Oh. Now, there was one farmer who had many children, and he really shouldn't have even taken the time off to be doing this shining and cleaning for the emperor because his own farm needed attending to. But he was on his hands and knees, and he was scrubbing and he polishing the floor and figured that if he could see his own face, then the emperor could see his. And he was polishing, and he was backing up on his hands and knees, and he backed up until he bumped into a huge vase that was as tall as he was. And the vase went this way and that way, and he turned around and he reached for it, but he missed, and that vase fell and splattered and crashed and just broke into more pieces than you'd ever care to count. What could he do, he thought. Oh, he was going to lose his head for sure. And he thought, well, maybe he could just hide all of the broken pieces. And so he started to put them all together and started to put some in his pockets and started to, when who should come around the corner, down the hall, none other than the emperor himself. And the emperor saw the farmer on his knees with all of these pieces. And the farmer looked up and says, "Oh, your Majesty, I'm so sorry, your heavenly one. I accidentally broke this vase, and I'm planning to get some glue and to glue it all together again, or I'll just save up enough money and buy you another one." The emperor said, "Buy me another one." Yes. You know, I bet you could if you lived like 100 lifetimes, maybe 1,000 lifetimes, because that was my favorite vase. It wasn't really his favorite vase. He was just saying that. That was my favorite vase, and you have broken it. You have shattered it. There's no way you can put that back together again. "Get the executioner," he yelled. "Oh, but your Majesty, I'm a farmer. Please, I have lots of children. How are they going to survive if I'm not there to take care of them?" "Well, you should have thought of that before you broke my vase. Look, your Majesty, look into the floor. You can see yourself. That's what I was doing, because that's what you like to do." Well, the man with the big double-edged axe showed up, the executioner. "Yes, your Majesty. Well, I think you may be cutting this man's head off, but I'm going to give him an opportunity. I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you something to do. If you can do this, then I may let you live." "Oh, anything, your Majesty. Anything. What could I get for you?" Let me see here. Oh, I know what you can get me. Bring me something that's blacker than the bottom of a pot. Blacker than the bottom of a pot. Yes, blacker than the bottom of a pot. You see, pots were cooked with fire, and they were all charred and dark. And you thought, well, maybe coal. He says, "All right, your Majesty. All right. I will bring that back tomorrow." Oh, we're not done yet," said His Majesty. Let me see here. Oh, yes. Bring me something that is as shiny and clear as the mirror that I can see myself in. "Okay, your Majesty. Okay. And, see that axe the executioner has? Yes. Bring me something that's stronger than that steel." Well, by now, the farmer realized that His Majesty was giving him things to do that were impossible. "Yes, your Majesty. And let's see, so we want darker than the bottom of a pot, clearer than a mirror, stronger than steel. Oh, one last thing. Bring me something that is bigger than the ocean." You do that and you can save your head. Now, you'll be here by, let's say, not too early in the morning, let's say 10 o'clock. That seems to be a good hour. You come with all of those things at 10 o'clock in the morning, and you can save your head. And if you don't show up, I will send my guards to execute not only you, but your entire family. "Yes, your Majesty." And with that, the farmer bowed, and he moved out of the palace, and he went home. Now, all of his children and his wife gathered around, and they could see that there was something bothering him. In fact, he didn't even bother to sit and have dinner. He just went outside in the farmyard and was walking back and forth and trying to figure out what he could possibly do, when his eldest daughter, she was kind of bright, she was probably 15 years old, 14 years old, something like that. She went to her father and said, Father, unburden your heart on me. Tell me what is wrong." And he says, "Daughter, there's nothing that you can do about it, but tomorrow I will lose my head." "Well, how do you know, Father? Tell me, what is it that I could do?" All right, I will tell you. I broke a vase at the emperor's palace, and the emperor has given me 4 tasks to do by tomorrow. If I don't do them, I will lose my head, and if I don't show up, I will lose my head, and so will all of you. So obviously I have to go. "Well, what are these tasks?" said Jamai. "Well, the first one is I have to bring him something that is blacker than the bottom of a pot that we cook in." "Very well. And what else?" "I need to bring him something that is stronger than steel." "Stronger than steel. Oh, Father, I think I know what that is." "You do?" Yes, in fact, I think I know what's even blacker than the bottom of a pot. I think I might know what that is. What else? Well, I need to bring something clearer than a mirror. Clearer than a mirror. Okay. And finally, well, I need to bring him something that is bigger than the whole ocean. Oh, Father, that's the easiest one of all. Let's go. Tomorrow, I will go with you. But Jamai, if you go with me and you are wrong, you will lose your head, I'm sure, just as I will lose mine. Father, have faith in me, and let's go see the emperor. And so they did. At 10 o'clock, they were there. They bowed before the emperor. And the emperor said, so you have brought me these things, and who have you brought me here? Oh, this is my daughter, Jamai. She says that she knows the answers and has the things that you desire. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, have the axe ready. Wonderful. So, young lady, what have you brought me that is blacker than the bottom of a pot? Now, you might think at home, what could possibly be blacker than the bottom of the pot that young girl knows about? Well, the geese are guessing, but I don't think that's right. Well, a goose's beak is probably as black as the bottom of a pot, now that I'm looking at it. But Jamai said, you know, Your Majesty, what is blacker than the bottom of the pot is already in this room. Really, said his emperor. What is it? And she looked the emperor right in the eye, which you're never supposed to do, and said, why, Your Majesty, your heart is blacker than the bottom of a pot. And the truth of what she said struck the emperor with such force that all he could do was stand there, speechless for a moment. Ha, 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 ha. All right, all right, all right. What did you bring me that is clearer than a mirror? Oh, Your Majesty, there's nothing clearer than one's own thoughts. When one knows something to be true and one knows something to be right. And again, she looked the emperor right in the eye, and the truth of what she said almost shattered his black heart. How could this young girl be so wise and know this truth? Very well. What did you bring me that is stronger than the executioner's axe? That's steel. What is stronger than steel? Ha! Ah, stronger than steel. Stronger than steel. The words that men speak when they speak out together against tyranny. That is stronger than steel. Again, the truth of what she said struck the emperor in his heart. Very well, very well. I will give you all of those. Here is the last one, and you can't possibly have this. What is bigger than the ocean? Have you brought it to me? And what do you think it is? Do 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 do. Time's up. Write it down and see if you're right. And I bet some of you actually knew this. What is bigger than the ocean? She grabbed her father's hands and looked her father in the eye and said, there is nothing greater than the love a daughter has for her father. And again, the emperor threw up his hands, and the truthfulness from which she spoke, he said, be gone with thee, I never want to see you again. And he sent them on their way, and he didn't ever see them again. So the truth that Jamai spoke was stronger than the emperor's black heart. And that story comes from China and is many thousands of years old.
Well, let's see what's blooming in Storyman Mark's garden today. Well, that's what's blooming.
This is Storyman Mark, thanking you very much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed yourself We'll be back again next time, going once again to Emily Oaks Nature Center to hear a story from Japan. Bye now.